Hi, welcome back. In this video, we will see about deployments in Kubernetes. Deployment is an object in Kubernetes which is used to deploy application in high scale. We can deploy an application using pod, then why we need deployments? Why we need a separate object to create an application? Let's find out. In this cluster, I am using a master node and two worker nodes, and I will create a pod and I will deploy an application using it, and I'll expose to the internet. This is a simple pod definition where I'm using a custom image and it's running on port 8080. The pod is running right now and I'll create a service on this pod. As of now, just remember that service is used to expose the application outside of the cluster. Means we can access the application outside of the cluster. The pod is running here and I have created a service and which is on port 30182. And this pod is running on worker1 node. I'll take the public IP of this worker1 node and using the port number 30182. I can access this application from anywhere. I have just created an application using a single pod. We just now saw I can create an application using a single pod and we can access it from anywhere. Why can't we use pods to create application and why we need deployments? Because there are some limitations. So this is the high level architecture of what we did just now. I have a master node and two worker nodes. And in this worker node, I have just created a pod. And from I created a service, and from that service I can access the application. If you follow the same architecture, then there is no point of using Kubernetes. We can create the same architecture using a physical machines or a virtual machine. The main advantage of using Kubernetes is to scale the application up and down without any downtime. With zero downtime, we can scale the application up and down and even make some configuration changes. So the first limitation is scaling if you're using a pod to deploy the application, and then upgrades, and then versioning. There are so many advantages, but these are the high level advantages which I can see. With deployments, we can fix all these issues. Now let's create an application using deployment object and see the advantages. This is the YAML file for the deployment. The API version will be app/v1 and then followed by the metadata. And there are three mandatory fields which are required while creating the deployment YAML file. First one is replicas. Replicas means the initial number of pods which are required while the application is created. The second field is selector. I'll explain about selectors and labels in the coming videos. As of now, just know that this is a mandatory field, and followed by the template. Under template, we will give the exact details of a pod configuration file. We'll just remove the API version and kind, and we'll copy rest of the data. Here I am using the same custom image. Let's create an application using this deployment file. Deployment is created and we can see one pod is running. The advantage of deployment is we can scale the application up and down. So I will just edit the deployment. I'll come down to replicas and I'll make 4. The deployment is edited and now if you can see 3 new pods are created here. So this is the advantage of using deployments. Let's create a service for this one. 2 pods are running on worker 1 and 2 pods are running on worker 2. Port number is 31102. I can access the application from the first worker node, and I can access the application from second worker node. We can see we can access the application from both the nodes. So this is the advantage of using deployments. Even if one node is down, the application is still accessed using the other node. The main advantage of using deployments to deploy an application is we can scale the application up and down very easily. At the same time, we can perform any upgrades on the application without bringing down the application, and we can also perform versioning. As of now, just know that deployment is an object which is used to create applications easily in Kubernetes. We have seen how to create a deployment and how to edit a deployment. Let's see how to delete the deployment. So the deployment is deleted and the respective pods are also getting terminated. I hope you got something from this video, and if you like this video, please share with your friends and subscribe to my channel Aliu. I'll complete the rest of the topics about deployments in coming videos. Thank you and see you in the next one.